on housing, coming at you with a live housing debrief. This is our season 4, episode 4, and it's February 23rd, 2023. That's kind of interesting. 23, episode 4, season 4. Anyway, that's how I am with numbers. Let's get right into it, and let's go into this housing debrief and show you what's going on. I'd like for you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Why? Because we really want to get out the most accurate information and data so that you can make proper decisions, set expectations, so that you can make some great decisions for our families and ourselves. That's what it's all about. And there's nothing better than having real data. And I have the micro data that brings it all the way down to the city level and the county level. And I'm talking about Southern California. Very soon we will be including the Bay Area as well. They're very, very similar to what we're doing in SoCal. Hard to believe. They just have a little bit higher prices, but they're dealing with some of the same that we are. And so please like and subscribe so we can get the word out more. The inventory crisis is back. Yes, that's correct. Hard to believe, but the inventory crisis, that is what I call it when we go into these kind of, when we don't have a very limited inventory. That is what we are referring to it as, a crisis. Now, I referred to it before as a catastrophe. It's not quite a catastrophe, it's a crisis. And it's been a crisis now for about since the middle of the summer. I knew that's where we were headed. I thought we were going to replenish a lot of our inventory, get back to where we were pre-COVID. That is not what is happening at all. So let's get right into it. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat. We'll see if we have any room at the end of this to answer your questions, but also we can answer these afterwards. So put it in the chat. We'll be more than happy to get you some answers. So let's get into the inventories back. And so this is the United States inventory. Trading Echo put this thing together. This is from the National Association of Realtors, which you can get this data set from them. And what I wanted to point out is what's happened to inventory over time. You can see this thing goes all the way back to the 80s. There are fewer people in the States and also a more limited housing stock. So there were a lot of homes. Then we got to the Great Recession, and it got to a pinnacle, a lot of homes on the market. And ever since the Great Recession, after the Great Recession, the number of homes has been coming down like crazy. And that's the beginning of our inventory problem, because we hit all the way up at 4 million units. So that's a lot of properties across the United States that were available to sell. This is just the residential resale side. Please don't talk about new home sales. I know all the information that has what's going on with new home sales. It's not quite what everybody thinks as far as finished product. There's not a lot of finished product or standing inventory, but I'm not going to talk about that. My lane is residential resale, and I'm telling you that we had 4 million homes on the market back during the Great Recession. And this is where we were. That's about the average, about 2 million homes. And that was from about 2000, about the middle of 2012, all the way through until we got to COVID at 2020. So through 2019, because once we hit COVID, things totally changed. As a matter of fact, this right here is where we were pre-COVID. And that's the average that I'm talking about. Since then, what has happened? Inventory has downgraded even further because of COVID. We were having a problem at the beginning of 2020. COVID changed so many industries, including the residential resale industry. That is what is going on. Now, Altos Research does that last thing was courtesy of the National Association of Realtors. This is courtesy of Altos Research, and they do a tracker, and this is single family resident detached homes. And you could see actually in the last month, it's gone down 8%. Typically, when we get to the end of January, it's supposed to start to come up. That is more of a typical market, including SoCal, including most of our markets. Riverside is the only one that's a little bit different. They peak at different times of the year because of the Coachella Valley. But anyways, you can see what's happened here. The averages, this is from it doesn't even go back to 2012. They started theirs in 2015. But from 2015 to the start of 2020, you could see that it was slightly coming down over time. And which brought us to 2020, where it was really low to start off the year. And then along came this portion of it. And that is when we went into the COVID lockdowns and everything else. So it's of course, we're not dealing with COVID right now, but since we went into COVID, we are dealing with this inventory crisis. We went to crisis. It was already low and it was getting lower each year prior to COVID. And now we hit crisis levels. The beginning of last year, it was a catastrophe level because we hit an all-time low across the United States, and most markets in Southern California hit a low as well. Now, I'm going to show you that same for Southern California. California, you can see on the left-hand side, that is 2012 through 2019. And you can see that, yeah, in 2013, things got really low. But since we went to COVID, that's on the right-hand side, the bracket on the right-hand side, you can see that it actually dipped down a lot further than we had ever seen, way further lower than 2013, which is on the left. And I'm pointing to where we are right now today. Last year, we built up an inventory, and that's that big blue Himalaya on the right-hand side. But we've come way down. And typically, we are growing at this time of the year, but we are not growing right now. And this little section right there, that's COVID-19. Now, a lot of this has to do with the buildup originally of COVID-19. So it says my voice is continuously cutting out and popping. Let's see if we can fix that. So it said that we had problems before. Let me know if we continue to have this is why I'm not be uploading my videos, because we have problems when we go live on the internet, both YouTube and Facebook. So it says my voice continuously cuts out and pops. So let's see if I'm gonna change speakers for a second. Hold on. Now. All right, so let's talk about, let's see, make sure that we have the right settings. Problem. So COVID-19. COVID-19 was the beginning. Things really got bad. And I like Riley. Riley said I went to school today. Actually, to the Ladera Ranch Middle School today, and I presented to them, told them what I did. It was career day, and I thought I had a lot of fun doing it as well. So anyways, let's get into this first. Hello, Riley. Thank you for joining us. So COVID-19 really caused a problem when it came to the housing market. And that problem is, remember COVID? That's when we all wore masks. We had to do things very carefully. We had to wipe down our groceries. Do you remember that? And then we had this toilet paper problem. That's kind of what we're dealing with right now. Do you remember that, where we went to Costco and you couldn't get toilet paper? People were lining up outside. They said an order for all families to benefit, applying a limit of 2 per purchase, and look at nothing. We remember those days, right? So basically what's happening on the housing market right now, people are saying, you know what, I'm not going to sell my home. And I'll tell you what that is. That is there are the number of new homes for sale compared to the 3-year average prior to COVID. So we're looking at the number of homes coming on the market compared to prior to COVID. Why was I interested in this during COVID? Because I wanted to know people were going to place their homes on the market because of the virus, and didn't want people going through the house. And there was a lot of different things we had to do when we first went into COVID. In 2020, it was 9% less, or 24,000 missing sellers in that in 2020 because of COVID. And towards the end of the 2020, we actually come on, but we really had a lot of people missing at the beginning of the year. So in 2021, we were missing 7. They said that's what they said, the good audio now. I actually changed that. My producer and lovely executive assistant right here, executive director, actually, my wife came in and she's told me about the popping. If you hear any popping, let me know again. Yeah, Kyler said something, and that's why a couple other people said it too. So we changed the audio. And it says good audio now. Good, Sherry. So anyways, 2021, we were missing 17,700 for sale signs. In 2022, something happened that changed. So 2020 and 2021, we were missing for sale signs, and a lot of it had to do with COVID and different lockdowns, different restrictions. You remember back then for California. In 2022, we had interest rates change, and they went up. They went up from 3.25% to 0.37%, and a lot of people were locked into these low mortgage rates. So, number of for sale signs compared to the 3-year average, 2022, we were missing 50,800. So double the number that we had in the first initial year of COVID in 2020. And so we were missing 19%. In January, we were missing 32% or 8,800 for sale signs in just 1 month, in the month of January. I know that this is continuing today because I can see it in the active listing inventory. Once again, we have a toilet paper problem. We have not enough of them available. That really is going down to the crux of what the problem is today. It's not we have this increased demand. That's why the market feels hotter, because the market right now is feeling hotter. And I'm getting whispers of multiple offers and offers accepted above the asking price again because of the fact that we do not have enough homes on the market. It is a lack of goods. Our supply chain has been broken because of how high mortgage rates spiked. Claudia said we're still cutting out. So I don't know what we're going to do. It's really weird. It's got to be YouTube because I keep on getting it from YouTube. So it says, still cutting out, friend. I don't know what to tell everybody. Actually rebooted computers. We are going to be uploading these in the future. I apologize for the audio. This is unfortunate. So I get some people say good. It looks like it's good over at Facebook, not good at it's all platforms, Kyler says. Weird. How about my computer microphone, because it says there's popping. I have no idea what it is. Hopefully this, some people say it's fine. Some people say it's not. Anyways, I don't know what it is. I apologize. This is once again, this is why I'm going to be fixing it. Anyhow, so let's get back into this. They're referred to as hunkering down. It's mortgage rate, or a mortgage rate lockdown is what people call it. Down, mortgage rate lockdown, golden handcuffs. There are people out there that argue that this is not a problem. I am telling you, this is for real. When I drill down to the nitty gritty, it is a real problem. And I know that people can qualify based upon that they're going to be making more. They'll be able to qualify down the road. But right now, interest rates took such a giant shift that it's preventing homeowners from placing their homes on the market. I've heard it across markets, and that is what is going on. So, you know what? In California, you can see 89%, 71%. I've done this before, but what it really shows you is that people are locked in at mortgage rates that are truly, really low. And if you look right over here, this is the number of homes that came on the market in January. There's not a lot of homes that came on the market. You can see where the average is a lot higher than that. There truly are fewer homes that we had not seen. You can look at averages for January. You can actually go back in time and see the number of homes come on the market, and it's very similar from year to year, off by just a few percent. It shouldn't be down like it is here, like in San Diego County where it's down 49%, in Orange County where it's down 45%. Just did a couple presentations there. This is a true supply crisis, and you can see it in the numbers. February 16th, that was last Thursday, we were at 20,802, down 4% or down 929 homes. Last year, we were at 12,701. A lot of people compare to where we were last year. I'm here to say that at 2021 numbers, it was a supply crisis. In 2022, it was a catastrophe. We added more homes, and now it's back to supply crisis. That's it. You can compare it to last year and say we have more than last year. I don't care. We still do not have enough homes on the market. The 3-year average prior to COVID is 35,000. It's about homes in the market. It's 68% higher than where we are today. We should have 35,000 homes on the market. During the Great Recession, there were approximately, it's actually probably more based upon all of our estimates. We do not have accurate information, but I have it in several markets. For all of SoCal was 100,000 plus homes on the market. That is 380% more than where we are today. We are right now today at 20,466, close to 20,000. That is like 5 times as many homes as we have today. So you can understand that was a glut of homes at 100,000. We can't even get to the 3-year average prior to COVID, which is 35,000. Right now we're hanging right at 20,000. It's been going down. Now, I showed this before, and this is the available number of homes on the market. And what happens is this is available number of homes when the interest rate goes up for the year. Now, last year is the dotted orange line that was interest rates, and the yellow yellow or orange solid line is actually the inventory. The solid green line is 2013 inventory, and the dotted green line is interest rates that year. That year, we had interest rates go from 3.25% to all the way up to 4.75%. That was such a significant change back then that it really changed our marketplace, and it made for a slower 2014 because we built a lot of, and you could see it in the green solid line. It did not peak until the fall. Normally, the market peaks in inventory in the middle of the summer, but it peaks later when we have a big change in interest rates. But last year, and it goes up, right? So once we have interest rates go up, we have a change, and we have inventory levels go up, and it peaks later. The problem is we peaked during summer like a normal market, and there's a reason for that. Because interest rates kept on going up and going up higher and higher and higher until we got to 7%. And we showed you what people were locked in at their homes with interest rates. So right now, you can see in June, we had 8% fewer number of homes come on the market. You could see that, and then interest rates started to come up a little bit. In July, 70% fewer homeowner sellers came on the market in July. In August, 24% fewer. In September, 24% fewer. In October, 31%. November, 32%. December, a little bit less than October, November at 28%, but still, you get the pattern. And in January, we had a lot fewer homes come on the market. There is a definitive low demand. There are not enough homes coming on the market, and it's pit up against a very, very low demand. But right now, because there's such a few number of homes on the market, that sellers are actually winning. It was that we had such few number of buyers on in the mix that values are still coming down, even though we had a low inventory. But now the inventory is so low and we have more demand that now we have values going back up. But let's get into our sponsor before we demand. It's Alan Mack from Mack Financial Services. And you know what? He is part of the $1 million plus club, where he has superior luxury residential financing, but it's not just for luxury, because we think of luxury, think of $1 million plus. He actually deals with non-conforming loans, anything above the jumbo limit, which is 726,200. I know there's a high balance for California. Don't worry about that. 726,200 is what he deals with on up. He shops for the lowest rate, gets the best rate in town. Network of private and regional banks, knows the best of the best in these banks. And he has high net worth clients also that he works with cash flow analysis and asset depletion. He does SL 2-1 buy down. Know that he can get really good rates, 7-1 ARMs that start in the low 3% with 20% down. And then he has special programs where it's 95% LTV or 90% LTV up to 1.5 million or 2 million. Those also are in the mid fives, and those are 7-1 ARMs as well. So experience matters. He's been doing this since 1988, has over 100 reviews, and he has unparalleled knowledge. He's part of the Forbes magazine of market leaders for 2022. And Mack Financial Services, you can contact Alan Mack and let him go to work for you and get you the lowest rates. 949-929-1091. That's 949-929-1091. To low demand. Low demand really is low. As a matter of fact, the purchase application just showed that it fell 18% week over. Know that this is a low. It's going to probably bounce from here, but right now, initially, that was because rates continue to go up. It went down further, and it's off 41% over year. Know this is probably going to be more in line as we get to the second half of the year when we look over year comps, but right now, when we look over year, it looks way off. And that's because the first half of 2022 is going to be softer. First half of 2023 is going to be softer than last year, but the second half most likely is going to be stronger than the second half of 2022. The last time we had that print for mortgage purchase applications was in 1995. I don't know if anybody had seen this, but this kind of shows us where purchase application demand is currently right now today. And this has to do with the jump in interest rates from 5.99% at the start of February to where they are today. at 6.8%. Now, demand, as a result, it's still going up a little bit. It's just slowed its pace, and we'll see how it goes from here. But last Thursday, we were at 11,083. You can see how it's muted compared to prior years, but it's still going up. It went up 15% in that 2-week period of time. Last year, we were at 15,234, 37% higher. The 3-year average prior to COVID, 39% higher. And today, it went up 2%. So that slowdown of demand starting to happen, and it's occurring because of this spike recently in interest rates. I expect that if we get some readings of economic news that shows the economy is slowing, that we'll get a reprieve in rates and we'll get the demand curve going again. So I don't know why I put that there, but the speed of the market, how fast is it going based upon supply and demand? It's still pretty fast. As a matter of fact, if you look at where we are right now, no, we're not as fast as we were in 2021 and 20 and the second half of 20 and the first half of 2022. But you can see that we're lower where I'm pointing right now than where we were in prior years to COVID. So where we are today, February 16th, last week, 56 days, it dropped 12 days. Last year, we were at 25 days, and the 3-year average was 68 days. Today, we're at 54 days, so it went down another 2 days. Market time changed in the last 4 weeks. LA went from 90 to 60. That was in just the last 4 weeks. Orange went from 67 to 43, and I know that there's multiple offers. Once you get down into the 40s, it's situations. But we'll have to see how this new demand plays into it. But this is what my readings are right now. Riverside is at 60 days. It's getting hotter there, and was at 81. San Bernardino went from 94 to 68. And San Diego went from 52 to 36. I know in San Diego, they're having a real problem. I'm actually not happy about this. This is actually unhealthy. So I hope that this changes for San Diego County, but we'll be watching this closely. Ventura, also unhealthy at 38 days, was at 55 a couple weeks ago. So it's going the wrong direction as well. And that's it. If you want a copy of this, sorry for the audio issues. Like I said, in the future, we're going to be recording these and just uploading them because then we don't have any glitches. But if you want a copy of these, go to reportsonhousing.com and subscribe. It's we have reports all over SoCal. Probably will launch Bay Area. I'm hoping next week. Got my fingers crossed on that. The most recent one is rates paved for housing. San Bernardino and Riverside will get this next week, but Orange County, LA, and San Diego got theirs this week. Rates paved path for housing, and it really does. $15 per month or $150 per year. You can subscribe. You get a month free if you utilize the coupon called SUPPLY. 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 That's all I have. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope that you have a fantastic finish to your week. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Have a great finish to your week, and we will see you a week from now. Any questions, stick them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to fix them, answer them for you. And again, apologize for the audio issues. We'll get those fixed down the road. But hey, you know what?